Let's look at the top 10 from last year, the top 10 for PPR, as we always get into some scoring rankings as well. And with running backs, we discussed how much there could be a little bit of a difference with half PPR and PPR. With wide receivers, guys, these are the top 10 that finished for PPR. It's the same top 10 for half PPR, and 6 of the players remained in the same spot. So, Barry, even with the scoring change, not a massive difference of the names that appear at the top.
No, just so people that are listening and can't see, the graphic that we're showing here on the NFL on NBC YouTube channel or on Peacock, Justin Jefferson, Tirico Hill, Davante Adams was 3, Stephon Diggs was 4, CeeDee Lamb was 5, A.J. Brown 6, Amon-Ra St. Brown 7, Jalen Waddle 8, Devontae Smith is 9. Jay Croucher, you were right, I was wrong. And Amari Cooper was 10th. This is total points.
Now we jump to half PPR here. And Justin Jefferson leads the way, followed by Tirico Hill, Davante Adams, Stephon Diggs. A.J. Brown was at 5, CeeDee Lamb at 6, Jalen Waddle at 7, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mr. Ride or Die at 8, Devontae Smith stays at 9, and Amari Cooper at 10.
To me, what jumps out the most there is just the year that Jalen Waddle had, which I think got completely overshadowed by Tirico Hill being such a supernova. But Jalen Waddle, 7th in half PPR, 8th in PPR, and he's also just so young. Tirico Hill is older, and so there's more scope, I think, for Jalen Waddle to make improvements. Also, Tirico really burnt down towards the end of the year. He's playing banged up. He wasn't the same guy the last month. I think there is a decent chance that Jalen Waddle outperforms Tirico Hill. Certainly wouldn't make that the favorite, but that's on the cards.
Which kind of transitions us to the next topic of drafting 2 wide receivers on the same team. Obviously something that is not going to be popular in drafts, Jay. And there are teams where you have guys that are supported, right? And as we show the highest drafted wide receiver teammates, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, no surprise there. Chase as wide receiver 2, T. Higgins as wide receiver 13. Hill and Waddle, we know what those 2 guys are capable of. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams that now have Quentin Johnston in that wide receiver room as well, the first-round rookie. And then Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. So those are the most popular top 5 pairings. Barry, is it almost taboo to draft, 2 wide receivers in the same room in most drafts, or sometimes does the value just force you into it?
Yeah, I don't. Now, this is for single season, home leagues, right? Like if you're in a large best ball tournament or something like that, then you want, or just some sort of large format where you want variance, where you have to try, then you try to stack those players and try to, do a kind of a weird or unique roster build. But in this particular case, no, I'm not actively trying to get guys from the same team. Having said that, I'm also not avoiding it. Like, we do think Tirico Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to have good years. We do think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. We do think, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. So, like, if the draft falls to me where I'm drafting both those guys, like, yeah, sure. Like, they don't know that they're both on your fantasy team. Like, A.J. Brown's going to have a good year. Devontae Smith's going to have a good year. No issue if they're both on your team. Again, you just have to be a little bit wary of buys, and what it does is it increases risk on both sides, right? It increases reward because in games in which the Eagles are killing people, right, then both guys are going to go off, right, which is awesome. And then if there's a game where it's just like not their day, then you're getting 2 zeros or 2 low scores. So it does tie it a little bit together. There's a little bit less variance, if you will, but I'm okay with it. Again, like, they don't know that they're on your fantasy team. Draft good players. If they happen to be on the same NFL team, they happen to be on the same NFL team.
I think it depends most on the quarterback. Joe Burrow can clearly support 2 elite fantasy wide receivers. Justin Herbert, I think, has shown that he could do that 2021 in 5,000 passing yards. Tua Tagovailoa did it last year when he was playing, and that team throws the ball so much and they're so explosive that he can probably do it again. But you want faith in the offense, you want faith in the scheme.
By the way, and that speaks to, as we were talking earlier in the show about Gabe Davis, right?
Yep.
Josh Allen, we believe Josh Allen has that ability to do that, right? So Josh Allen does have that ability.
Jalen Hurts does too.
Yeah. Apparently so does Brock Purdy. Like, we're believing in Deebo and Ayuk. We are. We're more about Kyle Shanahan's offense, but whatever.
We're hoping Kenny Pickett could do it. I mean, they're not elite wide receivers, but they are draft-worthy wide receivers.
Sam Howell's going to do it.
Another example.
Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
Come on. At cost, Jay.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, we love Sam Howell. Yeah.
Come on.
QB 8.
At cost. At cost, Sam Howell, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, all value picks this year. Hail the Commanders, hail victory.
Barry, you kind of touched on this
Yes,
with
sir.
it obviously being best ball strategy, but in redraft leagues, obviously handcuffs are very popular at the running back position, but does it exist at wide receiver, especially when there might be a promising rookie that just is pushed down the depth chart, or is that not too common at this position?
It's not nearly as common that there's kind of an insurance player that you can draft for your elite guy. And it's only in super rare cases, right? You're likely better to go get somebody else than, but right, here's my thing. If I drafted Keenan Allen or Mike Williams, I'm not necessarily drafting Josh Palmer, even though last year we knew that when either one of those guys was out, Josh Palmer was great. Because you need, you know what I mean? If you have Keenan Allen and then Mike Williams is out, Josh Palmer doesn't do you any good, right? I mean, or I guess he does because now he's viable because Mike Williams is out and you could start both those guys. But I don't know. There's a few situations where you know that there's a backup wide receiver that will get more run if somebody in front of them goes down, right? But generally speaking, I think your wide receiver is so deep and there's these guys. I would rather take a flyer on a rookie that'll explode in the second half or somebody that just needs, an opportunity.
Yeah, I think what the wide receiver position and the wide receiver depth chart is more convoluted as well, where it's not just like for like. Often it depends on matchups. An X receiver goes down. A new X receiver is just going to come in and take all of the work from Jamar Chase. No, not necessarily. The offense will change as well, as opposed to if Travis Etienne goes down, then Tank Bigsby is going to be the guy immediately. So running back is a lot simpler in that regard.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.